Hello, friends. The 1240th day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. Russian troops have advanced in the Vovchansk area near the village of Gadishchi, the military telegram channel Deep State reports. A Ukrainian officer with the call sign Alex fears that a new Russian breakthrough near Vovchansk may be repeated. I think the high command should pay attention to the situation in this area, so that later there is no entry through Vovchansk, because the direction is gradually sliding to the level of spring 2024, when the Russians captured a bridgehead here, he writes. According to Alex, the situation here continues to remain stably difficult. The front is not moving much, but everything can change dramatically at any moment. There are separate questions for the command of the 113th Territorial Defense Brigade for some decisions regarding the units assigned to them and their personnel, as well as how such a situation developed in this direction in general, the officer writes. Russian troops also took up new positions southwest of Pokrovsk in Pishchani. The day before, they advanced in neighboring Yevhenii. The enemy is putting pressure on Yevhenii from the east and south, trying to enter the outer houses, bringing in infantry on motorcycles and hiding in the plantings, despite the strikes of our FPV drones. The situation remains controllable. Heavy, the enemy's assault activity and drone attacks on our optics are intensifying. The battles for Zaporizhzhia are also continuing. In some places the enemy is seeping through our positions, literally dispersed throughout the village, actively using drones and artillery, trying to gain a foothold and reach the Travnia area. A Ukrainian fighter with the call sign Myrnohrad describes the situation. Further south at the borders of the Dnipropetrovsk region, the Russians captured the village of Shevchenko, advanced from Myrnohrad towards Myrnohrad and at Zelensky Poli. The situation is grave both north and south of Myrnohrad. The enemy is advancing on a broad front and will move towards Balahan, Moskovsky, and Pramen. Perhaps the Russians will change the scenario and try to enter Myrnohrad from the east through the reservoir. To do this, they need to strengthen their flanks, for example, in the area of Novoselka, for which fighting is still ongoing. The enemy was also able to gain a foothold on the eastern approaches to Krasny Liman. Fighting is underway for the outskirts of the settlement. Similarly, to the north, clashes continue for the adjacent landing and the ravine in front of the Rodinska mine. The same situation is in the Suvarovi area. The enemy is also trying to reach the outskirts of the village through the ravine, literally biting into our defense with pincers in order to further advance to Rodinsky and Bielitsky, writes Myrnohrad. Ukrainian military observer Myrnohrad also reports that the situation here is critical. He points to Russia's rapid advance to Rodinsky, a key city north of Pokrovsk and Myrnohrad. Everything happened too quickly, and now the enemy is actually on the outskirts of the city. This is already creating serious problems for the defense of the entire Pokrovsk-Myrnohrad agglomeration. And if we take into account that the enemy is already on the approaches to Novoselka, then the situation can be described as critical, Myrnohrad believes. Myrnohrad also writes that the enemy is advancing literally everywhere, and the Russians have the initiative at the front, switching between the main areas of the offensive, and we are only reacting, and only after the fact. First, they attacked in the Donetsk direction. There they were stopped. Then there was the Sumy region. There too, we managed to contain the onslaught. And now, as in the summer-fall of 2024, the enemy has again concentrated its main efforts on the Pokrovsk direction. In all these actions from the Donetsk direction to Pokrovsk, Sumy and Kharkiv regions, we constantly transferred forces back and forth. And a front still broke through further, the observer believes. The Russian Defense Ministry announced today the capture of Kamiansky in the Zaporizhzhia region. This is the shortest route to Zaporizhzhia. Ukraine did not confirm its loss. On the deep state map, the village is almost entirely indicated in the gray zone or under Russian control. At the same time, the Telegram channel previously reported that Russian troops had advanced in this village. Former advisor to the mayor of Mariupol, Andrushchenko, said yesterday that the Russians are preparing a full-fledged offensive in the Zaporizhzhia direction. According to him, Russia is pulling up reserves that were near the sea directly to the front line, and this is the first phase of the offensive, which may occur in the second half of July. CNN also writes that Russia will launch a major offensive in the coming weeks or even days, using 160,000 troops. The 50 days given by Trump give it the opportunity to take advantage of the gains of recent weeks, which, according to analysts, increasingly threaten key Ukrainian strongholds in the east of the country. Russia is believed to be days or weeks away from launching an intensified summer offensive, possibly using 160,000 troops, which, according to Ukrainian officials, are massing near the front line, the publication writes. According to its estimates, the key cities at the moment are Pokrovsk, Kostyantynivka, and Kupiansk, and Russia is applying pressure everywhere and slowly but surely advancing. Let me remind you that Axios previously reported that Putin told Trump of his intention to launch a major offensive in the next 60 days. At the same time, Trump gave Russia about the same period to conclude an agreement on Ukraine. It is worth noting that Moscow itself has not commented on these dates, nor on rumors about its new offensive.
Friends, I want to develop and strive for higher quality content, but my 2009 computer does not allow me to do this. If you have the opportunity to help me buy a new computer and make my dream come true, I will be very grateful to you. You will find the link in the description under the video and in the pinned comment. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.